struck him out. Clear the deck. Cannonball coming.
We're coming your way from Busch Stadium in St. Louis, Missouri. It's the middle game of the three-game series between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the St. Louis Cardinals. Redbirds came back from a couple of four-run deficits last night and beat the Pirates 8-7. And on this day, Major League Baseball commemorating the events of 17 years ago. We shall never forget the ribbons from September 11, 2001. We'll talk about that throughout the telecast. As the Pirates and Cardinals meet in the middle game of the three-game series, Greg Brown, Bob Walk, and Robbie and Smikowski. And though the Pirates lost last night, Bob, snapping their five-game winning streak, there are signs of life for this Pirates offense right now. In particular, Josh Bell, the last three games, including 3 hits last night, looks like he's got a stroke going again.
Yeah, we talked a lot about the offense over the last month or so, about next season, what's going to have to happen. Going to have to find some more home runs. And of course, Bell is a big key to that. 26 home runs last year. Where have they been this year? Well, they're starting to show up again a little bit. Almost picked up another one last night, opposite field home run. That would have been huge if that would have climbed over the fence just a little bit further. But the pop looks to, it's still in that bat, and it's starting to come alive right now.
Colin Moran hit a home run last night, looking for some power from the third base position.
Yeah, not a fastball. That was a little slider, kind of down, and he just dropped the head right to it. We definitely need to see more out of Colin. But now this was his first full year being in the big leagues. I think we can expect him to add to what he's done this year with the home run ball.
So those are the corners. Now up the middle, we're going to see the Seinfeld middle infield start for the first time this season at the big league level. But this is what Kevin Kramer and Kevin Newman did at AAA.
Well, you look at their numbers at AAA, you can see why all the talk is, will one or both of these guys be in our middle infield next year? And yeah, they got nothing left to prove at AAA. Of course they want to be in the big leagues.
Kramer making his second big league start at second base. Newman starts for the 8th time in the last 11 games. Meanwhile, it's the Moose and the Miles. Miles Michaelis against Joe Musgrove. We'll talk more about the Buccos and the Redbirds coming up next. The Pirates and the Cardinals. Again, the Redbirds came back and beat the Bucs last night. Joe Musgrove will try to get the Pirates back on the winning track, and he got the win his last time out against the Cincinnati Reds. He went 6 1/3, gave up a couple of runs at PNC Park.
He really had his usual sharp control. It's one of the things I really love about watching Joe is the way he works the ball back and forth, and not just the fastball like some guys will. It loves to throw the cutter, that little backdoor slider. He'll throw it to both sides of the plate, and when he's on, he's as tough as anybody we got to hit.
Joe Musgrove will be aiming for his 7th win with the Pirates. Meanwhile, Miles Michaelis has been one of the best pitchers all year long in the National League. His first year back after spending 3 seasons in Japan, but he's not been able to figure out the Pirates, at least in terms of the wins and losses. He's lost a couple of starts against the Bucs.
He's still thrown against us pretty well. You see the ERA is not bad at all. 3.38. An excellent slider. Last 5 starts, not so good. ERA's getting up there at 460. Opposition batting average well over 300. So maybe he's getting a little tired here later in the year. We'll see tonight.
And we will see shortly. We come back. Stan Savran going to have a game break, and then it is the Pirates and the Cardinals from Busch Stadium in St. Louis.
I would like to read a poem which I have written for this occasion. Since this nation was founded under God, more than 200 years ago, we have been the bastion of freedom, the light that keeps the free world aglow. We do not covet the possessions of others. We are blessed with the bounty we share. We have rushed to help other nations, anything, anytime, anywhere. War is just not our nature. We won't start, but we will end the fight. If we are involved, we shall be resolved to protect what we know is right. We have been challenged by a cowardly foe who strikes and then hides from our view. With one voice we say, we have no choice today. There is only one thing to do. Everyone is saying the same thing and praying that we end these senseless moments we are living. As our fathers did before, we shall win this unwanted war, and our children will enjoy the future we'll be giving.
Well, of course, baseball canceled all games the night of September 11th and returned to play 1 week later. That was Jack Buck, his last public appearance, the longtime voice of the St. Louis Cardinals, and obviously battling the effects of Parkinson's and lung cancer, which would take his life just 9 months later. A poem that he had written, and much of the nation was watching as the Cardinals hosted the Brewers here at Busch Stadium on September 17th, 2018, while the Pirates at PNC Park were hosting the New York Mets on September the 17th, 2001. The Mets were to play the Pirates at PNC Park that Tuesday night of September 11th when those tragic events occurred, and baseball commemorates those events from 17 years ago. So you'll see the players with those ribbons and patches as we check out the Pirates starting lineup against Miles Michaelis in the middle game of this 3-game series. Adam Frazier once again will be leading off and playing right field. The RAV4 starting lineup also includes Starling Marte hitting second. It'll be Josh Bell in the 3 spot of the batting order. His 7th 3-hit game of the season last night. Francisco Cervelli hits cleanup. Then it's Corey Dickerson and Colin Moran. Moran with the home run last night. And then Kramer and Newman back-to-back. Kevin Kramer, Kevin Newman at second and short respectively. And Joe Musgrove will be on the mound tonight for Pittsburgh.
Miles Michaelis, his numbers, we talked earlier about how he's not pitching all that well of late. ERA at 3.06. His overall numbers are outstanding. And even in his 4 losses, he had 0 run support in all 4 of his losses. So he really has done a heck of a job this year for the Cardinals.
Here's the Honda defense behind him. Matt Adams, it was his bat that won the game for them last night. He's at first base. Colton Wong is at second. Paul DeYoung made the last play of the game at deep short last night. Matt Carpenter is at third. Marcelo Osuna, Harrison Bader, Jose Martinez in the outfield left to right, and Tony Peña's son, Francisco Peña, does the catching. For veteran Pirate fans, they know the name Tony Peña, one of the more popular players in Pirates history and a one-time Cardinal, as Frazier swings at the first pitch, and there's Osuna over by that side wall, but he looked like he kind of gator-armed it. Concerned about that wall.
That's one of those where the feet first slide would have probably been called for. Went in, used his legs to keep him from slamming into the wall, and then tried just to slide underneath the baseball with the backhand. Tough play that close to the wall, no matter what you do, that's for sure. Timeout.
Time in. Jeff Nelson, crew chief, home plate umpire. Calling the balls and strikes. Andy Fletcher at first, Las Diaz at second, and Manny Gonzalez is at third tonight. Oh, 0-2. 10 hits in his last 22 at-bats for Adam Frazier, including a couple of hits last night and an RBI single in the 6th. As Bob said, Michaelis has done a great job for the Cardinals. What a pickup as a free agent after 3 years in Japan.
Bringing back that the mustache too. It's strong.
Yeah. 30-year-old from Jupiter, Florida, was originally drafted by the Padres in the 7th round in 2009 out of Nova Southeastern University. And Frazier fights that off, and all he can do is pop it to right to begin the ball game.
Ball up and in on him. Michaelis will be throwing the fastball, slider, curveball mainly. Occasionally he'll mix in off-speed pitch, but the off-speed pitch really is his curveball. About 10-mile-an-hour difference in between his two breaking balls. Throws a very nice hard slider.
There's his pitching coach, Mike Maddox, in his first year with the Cardinals. (14-4), a 3.06 ERA. It's his 29th start. Marte's got a little 5-game hitting streak going. His home run last night to center field was his 19th of the season. Hit it off Adam Wainwright. And now a homer shy of becoming just the 3rd Pirates player to hit at least 20 homers and steal 30 bases in the same season. There's Wainwright, who gave up 4 runs in 5 innings on 7 hits. His return, and for Trevor Williams, a rare hiccup. After the Pirates had taken that 4-0 lead, he gave up 4 in the bottom of the 4th. 8 men came to the plate, but he was in line to win it when the Bucks took the lead in the 6th. And bullpen had a rare bump in the road as this ball's fouled back all the way back out to Michaelis.
So far, first 2 hitters, he's really trying to establish his fastball inside. That's what he was doing to Frazier. In fact, that's how he got the out, up and in. Got in on him a little bit, so he couldn't get good wood on it. He's trying to do the same thing now to Marte, and that is always been kind of a weak spot for Marte, that up and in area. You look at his hot zones. Tried to do a little something different that time. Move the ball away, but missed by a bunch.
He's in the top 10 in ERA, that 3.06 earned run average for Miles Michaelis. Tap foul.
Yeah, that's his really bread and butter pitch right there. That hard slider he throws. That one 90 miles an hour.
7th in the league in ERA, 3.06, and righties have a tough time against him. Right-handed hitters just 2.02, but lefties hit 3.01 against Miles Michaelis this year. And he walks this right-handed batter. Game on, because though opponents have attempted only 3 steals this year with Michaelis on the hill, the vast majority of those starts, of course, with Yadier Molina behind the plate. Francisco Pena has not thrown out a runner in 14 tries this season. He's 0 for 14 in the stolen base department.
His dad would have probably got about 12 of those.
Yeah.
All you had to do was do your part. Get into baseball as quick as you can, and he'd take care of the rest.
Was he about as good as it got? The arm?
You're right, good as it got.
Well, Josh Bell, let's see if he can continue down this home stretch. Bell with the last 3 games. Strong at the plate. 5 for 10. Double, pair of homers, 4 ribbies over his last 3. Almost homered last night to tie the game. In fact, looked as though a few minutes before the Cardinals took the field and the players were out, some running in the outfield. Starling Marte and Marcell Ozuna were exchanging pleasantries, and then Josh Bell came over. Looked like they were talking about that near homer. Holding the baby and making the catch.
The baby's first souvenir.
How about talking about as good as it gets. Oh, 0-2 on Bell with Cervelli on deck. .31 stolen bases for Marte. He's been caught a dozen times.
Which is a lot for Marte, I think.
Those 2 moves, it doesn't look as though it's that difficult to read Michaelis. There's got to be better than that, because he's kept these guys close to the bag.
Yeah, but you know how I am about a right-hander. It's all about your time home.
So that stuff at first doesn't mean anything, really.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Now lefties, it's a different story.
But does that not allow you, though, if you don't have a really good move, doesn't allow the base runner to at least have a bigger lead?
To a certain extent, but you know, it's not that big of a lead. It's not that way, you know, maybe a little bit further.
Bounce to Adams and on to second for the force there. Play at first. Bell beats the wrap.
Adams really got rid of that ball quickly. Kind of surprised that Bell was able to beat that so easily. He was almost turning as he was fielding that ball to make that throw to second. Not much of a tip of the cap there by Cervelli.
No.
Usually he's a little. Oh, there we go. Okay. That first one looked like a little. Yeah, I think he was getting ready to, and then he realized that Michaelis wasn't looking, so he had to wait.
Not that you want this to happen, but what would happen if the first pitch to Cervelli got it right in the back? After tipping,
Wouldn't be
acknowledging the pitcher, no more acknowledgments
after that.
Line to left. Putting runners at first and second. The last play of the game, Bang Bang play at first. Paul DeYoung fielded the Cervelli one hopper off the dirt onto the grass, and then DeYoung threw a one hopper to Carpenter.
I was a little surprised that DeYoung would even throw that ball, taking the risk that if he made a bad throw, he was going to let another run score. The game would be tied.
Instead, the risky play paid off, and they got the win. First base umpire was Jeff Nelson last night, and he's at home in this game. Here it is. That's what Bob's talking about.
I mean, he's way out in left field. There got to be at least 3 or 4 steps out there.
They looked at this in New York. Man, was that a close play. And they decided he was out, and that was the end of the game.
Josh Bell had doubled in the 9th inning, so he was at second base, down a run.
He had almost tied the game. His double just maybe a foot and a half or so off top from the top of the fence, being a game-time home run. He really is starting to look much better at driving the ball. That was an opposite field drive that he had.
Corey Dickerson had an RBI last night. That gives him 47 RBIs on the year. His 111th start in the outfield in left field for the Pirates. Last time he started that many games 4 years ago with the Rockies. 98 starts. And Michaelis able to get him.
To the right where Pena asked for it. He laid his glove on the ground, and that's where he threw it.
Here comes Big Joe. Against Joe Musgrove for the 80 and 64 Cardinals. They've won 22 of their last 31. Mike Schild, they took off when he took over. Matt Carpenter will be followed by Jose Martinez and Matt Adams. Go-ahead 3-run homer in the 8th inning last night for Adams. It's Marcell Ozuna, Paul DeYoung, and Colton Wong. In the bottom third of the order, it's Harrison Bader, Francisco Pena, Miles Michaelis against Musgrove.
Big Joe's numbers, 17 games, over 100 innings this year. Be an interesting matchup between these two guys tonight, Greg. Both of them enjoy the playing the game, not just pitching.
First year with their new clubs. Evan Newman is the shortstop. He has started 8 of the last 11 games there. He's matched up with his buddy Kevin Kramer. On the corners, Colin Moran and Josh Bell. Dickerson, Marte, Frazier in the outfield left to right. Francisco Cervelli catches Musgrove. And Carpenter, who leads the league with 35 home runs, was 1 for 3 with a walk and scored a couple runs last night. It is 40th double of the year in last night's ball game. Having a tremendous season. 77 runs batted in. Batting average of .270. Did not go. He has struck out 137 times. That's tied for 9th most in the league. But he's also walked 96 times, 3rd highest total. "92 times make it. And Musgrove trying to avoid having it reach the 93 mark. It's 4th best in the National League, the walks total for Carpenter. He does walk.
He is an offensive force, isn't he?
So Musgrove has been a strike thrower. Check out our barrel league leader stat. And pitchers that throw the most strikes in baseball, Joe Musgrove, look at that. Tops. Mike Leake, Clayton Kershaw, Jacob deGrom, Justin Verlander, top 5.
Nova's not going to like that.
No, don't let him see it. Shallow right center field. Gonna drop. 2 aboard.
Just a little dunker.
Pirates can't get Jose Martinez out these days.
He hits just about everything well except for that down and away quadrant, and tough to get the ball down there sometimes with consistency. And then even if you do, you can get lucky and flare one off the end of the bat.
Matt Adams, it was his 3rd home run this go round with the Cardinals, playing now in his 15th game since being picked up from the Nationals. Overall, his 21st of the year to win it in the 8th inning last night. Single season high 21 home runs for him.
Well, already first inning, and he's up there in a crucial spot. A couple of Cardinals on.
Dovydas Neverauskas in the Pirates bullpen was called upon last night after Edgar Santana gave up the home run. Neverauskas would eventually give up one as well. Not a home run, but a run. Knocked down by Musgrove, and he recovers to throw out Adams. Seems to be okay.
Yeah, it's too bad. I mean, it's a productive out, moves the runners up. Too bad that that didn't go through. That's the game of baseball is so much luck is involved. I mean, if that ball goes through there, if he doesn't touch that with his glove, it is an absolute routine double play. Couldn't have been an easier double play. Okay, that's going to be a ground ball that just leads Newman right to the bag. But he got a piece of it, knocked it down in front, and it kind of worked almost like a sacrifice bunt.
So the infield will play back with Marcell Osuna at the plate. He drove in a run last night, couple of hits. Give the Cardinals a 2-0 lead with that bullet to left. A double.
Well, it sure looks like he is moving much better than the last time we saw him. He went on the disabled list not long after that. Yeah, with trouble with his arm, but he just snapped that bat through there.
Now a 7-game hitting streak. Early 2 spot on the board for the Cardinals against Musgrove. Here's Paul DeYoung. A leadoff walk. Got it going. Paul DeYoung drove in a couple of runs last night. Was 1 for 4. He has 35 RBIs since the All-Star break, which is, talk about unheralded, maybe underrated. Paul DeYoung, that's 3rd in the National League since the break behind Christian Yelich and Bryce Harper. He'll bounce this one to 3rd, and Moran will take care of that. 2 outs. Right at Colin Moran, so DeYoung retired.
Well, DeYoung, you know, you look at what he's done before this year. I mean, there's a lot of offense in that guy. He just got off to a little bit of a slow start this year, and you look at it now. Here at the end of the year, swinging the bat well, knocking in a lot of runs. Be glad to get past Colt Wong too. Seems like he's got a little John Jay in him over the years. I don't think the numbers have bared out like John Jay, but
I know he's hit some big home runs against the Pirates.
You know, I guess that's what I'm thinking is the unexpected long balls from him that has hurt us over the last few years.
Oh, 0-1 on Colton Wong, who also since the All-Star break is batting at a .341 clip. Playing outstanding defense at second. Hilo, Hawaii. Now the University of Hawaii. Colton Wong faces Joe Musgrove with 2 in, 2 out, and Osuna at second. Tries to bunt for a hit. Musgrove takes care of that.
Hard to knock that guy in from second with a bunt.
Marcell Osuna knocked in a pair, 2-0.
Is brought to you by the law firm of Bordas & Bordas. Bordas & Bordas, fighting for justice. Let's go Bucks!
2-0 as we move to the second inning here in St. Louis. Remembering the tragic events of September 11, 2001. Marcelo Osuna driving in a pair. And Colin Moran will lead things off. His first home run since the 1st of July last night. Michaelis has allowed only 14 on the year. For Moran, it was his 9th of the season. Drafted by the Padres, traded to Pittsburgh in November of 2013 along with Jeff Decker for an outfielder, Alex Dickerson. Not Corey Dickerson, Alex Dickerson went to the Padres. Jeff Decker played parts of a season with the Pirates. And for Michaelis, he didn't last long on the Pirates roster because a month later he was dealt to the Texas Rangers for infielder Chris McGinnis in December of 2013. McGinnis never made it to the big leagues with the Pirates. And Michaelis didn't pitch all that well with Texas. And eventually he signed as a free agent with the Yomiuri Giants in November of 2014. 2-2. On deck, Kevin Kramer and then Kevin Newman. Goes full on Moran.
He's been throwing a lot of pitches so far. A little bit of a difficult time. He's jumped out ahead of some guys, but then hasn't been able to end the at bat without it going full. Foul balls.
He walked Marte in the first. Gave up a 2-out single to Cervelli. He finally struck out Corey Dickerson. And you can see he has thrown 31 pitches. And he'll have to throw another one here to Moran. It's interesting because he came into this game tied for second in the National League with the Mets' Jacob deGrom for fewest pitches per inning, averaging 15 per frame.
Seems like his last start against us, it was the same story. A lot of pitches.
He gets Moran after that. His second punch out. Time for our need.com player resume, and Miles Michaelis has posted quite a resume in his first year back in the major league since 2014. Third best winning percentage in the league at 14-4. 2 of those losses coming to the Pirates. He's shown exceptional control, and he's done it well at the plate as he's gotten a hit in 6 of his last 9 starts. And speaking of starts, here's Kevin Kramer. He makes the start at second base for the Pirates. His second big league start. His first one was on Friday at PNC Park against the Marlins. And Kramer picked up his first major league hit and later his first big league RBI as he went 2 for 4. This is the first big league hit. Nice and clean for Kramer. His folks are on hand, his family, his wife, and after he lined out his third at bat, he singled in a run in the 7th inning. Pirates won the game 5-3. Really 4 solid at bats for Kramer because his first AB was a line out to left against Dan Straley. So 2 for 5.
Looks like the
big leagues.
The ball really's got life when it comes off his bat.
Michaelis able to get him.
Didn't come off the bat that time. It's that hard slider that he throws.
has struck out 3 straight now, getting Dickerson to end the first. He starts this second with punch-outs of Moran and Kramer. Here's Newman. Just 5 hits and 39 at-bats with the Pirates for a 128 average. One ball, 2 strikes. Here's Mike Schild. Had the interim tag removed from his title the last time the Pirates were in town. Mike Schild, the Cardinals have gone 33-18 since he took over July the 15th.
It's like starting out in the mailroom and becoming the CEO. What he's accomplished. Worked as a clubhouse kid, shining shoes, cleaning the cleats up.
There's John Mozeliak, in charge of the baseball operations, and he strikes out the side in order, and he's punched out 4 straight. Moran, Kramer, and Newman go down.
The second inning, and it's time to look at tonight's Allegheny Health Network injury update. The Cards yesterday announced that they've shut down starter Michael Walker for the rest of the season. He had been rehabbing from an oblique sprain, but about 2 weeks ago he had to pull himself from a rehab start because of soreness in his oblique. Reappeared last weekend as he got set to try and make another rehab start. Those obliques, they can be a tricky animal. Sometimes they go away real quick, maybe 10 days.
Just never know.
Yeah, they are very, very tough
Finicky.
To predict. The obliques.
Here's Harrison Bader. Bader hitting 272 this year with 10 homers. A couple of sacrifice flies last night. Bottom third of the order against Musgrove.
Now this would be a good time to bunt. Not with 2 outs and a man at second. Leading off, you're one of the fastest guys on the field. I still can't believe that Wong tried to drop down a bunt with 2 outs and a runner at second base.
ball, 2 strikes to count. On Bader. Well, the Pirates have fallen back to under 500. They had reached the 500 mark going into last night's game. Now 71 and 72. And now 3-2 on Bader. Francisco Pena on deck for the Cardinals, who are just 3.5 back of the Cubs in the Central. Cubs and Brewers are playing in Chicago tonight. And he gets them. It'll bring up Pena. Yadier Molina has been out. Last week, he tweaked a hamstring. He was out running late this afternoon. Yadier Molina has missed the last 5 games with left hamstring tightness. So they're hoping he can return, if not tomorrow afternoon, and perhaps against the Dodgers, who come to town Thursday. And the ball picked by Kramer.
You know, another very important piece, Cardinals beginning back Thursdays, Jed Jerko. Thank goodness it's Thursday instead of playing against us. He has been a big part of their offense and defense, for that matter, ever since he came over here to the Cards.
Removed from the game against the Pirates.
Yeah.
Last time the Pirates were here toward the end of August.
Had was a groin strain. Looks like he's moving pretty good out there today, running the bases.
They play the Dodgers starting on Thursday, a 4-game series here. Dodgers began the day 2 back of the Cardinals for the second wild card in the National League. Dodgers are trailing the Reds in the 7th inning tonight, 3-1. The Reds beat the Dodgers last night. See the Phillies playing the second game of their doubleheader. They lost game 1, 3-1 to the Nats. Phillies just about out of it.
Things are getting clear. That National League wild card race really up for grabs a couple weeks ago, but now things are, as they always do, you get into September, people start to fall away.
Michaelis, the pitcher, goes down, and a 1-2-3 second for Musgrove. 2-0 Redbirds. Panthers look to rebound this week as they enter conference play. The Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets come to Heinz Field for an ACC Coastal matchup, which we'll have for you here on AT Sportsnet. So join us at 12:30 Saturday afternoon for Pitt and Georgia Tech. Here it's Pittsburgh and St. Louis on the UPMC scoreboard. It's 2-0 Cardinals. Chris Archer here with one of the replay officials.
He's worried. Are you looking at me?
No, look at the field. Not me. Your eyes on the field.
That's pretty good.
Here's Joe Musgrove with 5 hits and 27 at bats. That was right down the middle.
Yeah, both these pitchers like to hit. Good eye. It's one of the better sliders you'll see in this league. And Joe just said, no, I don't think so. It's an inch outside. Yeah, there's another one.
Oh.
There's that.
Got the call.
Yeah, but you don't want to hit that. I mean, that's
right.
Maybe with 2 strikes, you got to give it a run, but not until then. You don't want to swing at that. Oh, that's the one you want. He fooled him with the curveball after the 2 sliders. Came with the big bender. Got him to buckle his knees a little.
He has struck out 5 in a row. Bring your pup the last pup night of the year. 1 week from tonight. Presented by Rachel Ray Nutrish. Bucks host the Royals at 7:05. Special ticket packages available. And a portion of the proceeds benefit local animal shelters. Go to pirates.com/pups. Any truth to the rumor that Higgins is going to make a special appearance?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Because it is the last game, and so much attention has been heaped upon Higgins, and rightfully so. The most popular pup. I guess it's Miss Higgins.
It's Miss Higgins, yes. But it depends on the
address.
weather. I don't think Miss Higgins comes out in bad weather. It'll have to be nice.
It's going to be beautiful next Tuesday.
It'll have to be if Miss Higgins is coming out. You know, I don't think I've ever actually met Miss Higgins.
You've not met Miss Higgins?
No, not.
What?
I've seen pictures of her, but I haven't met her yet. So
you've not met Miss Higgins?
If she's there on pup night, I'm gonna have to walk out.
She's gonna be there.
All right.
It'll be the main attraction. Two and 1 on Adam Frazier. Fly to right in the first. Michaelis has struck out the last 5 Pirates he's faced. Frazier getting the start again in right field, and it is interesting though. Clint Hurdle said, "Don't want to forget the job he was doing at second as he was improving defensively." You do have to wonder. Fly ball towards center, and Bader, because we still don't know. The Pirates haven't said anything officially about Gregory Polanco. Only that they are seeking a second opinion, and that usually means that someone is suggesting surgery, or it is a possibility. And if that's the case, then you have to wonder about 2019, the start of the year anyway.
That's a long way off.
Yeah, but that's what September's all about. So I think that's why they're taking a good look at Frazier in right. And there's a hard shot by Marte to third. Carpenter throws out Marte. 2-0 Cardinals.
TNT Sportsnet is brought to you by USAA. Insurance, banking, and investments tailored for the military community. Let's go Bucks!
Well, some scenes from the 9/11 Museum in New York. It's hard to believe, 17 years ago, a terrorist attack on our nation. And as we mentioned, baseball obviously paused along with the rest of the nation and did not resume until September the 17th. The Pirates hosted those New York Mets. They were scheduled to host the Mets that night.
So many good people losing their lives in a terrifying way. Don't forget.
We were tweeting out a photo of the Post-Gazette the day after the Pirates and Mets played at brand new PNC Park. And Paul Meyer's story, in the first few paragraphs of that story, the great Pirates beat writer said, maybe all you really need to know about the point of the Pirates and New York Mets playing last night at PNC Park were the words on this banner hanging above the left field bleachers. NYC, USA, we are family, Pittsburgh, PA. Fly ball toward left, and Dickerson calls for it, so Matt Carpenter is retired. And so the first game back, the God Bless America banner out front that was signed and sent to Shea Stadium, the Pirates and the New York Mets. And the fans on hand in what was such a serene, surreal moment that night. On the schedule, the original schedule, the Pirates were to go to New York on September 17th, that original 2001 schedule. But Shea Stadium was still being used as a staging area, and so baseball decided to flip-flop things and have the Mets come to Pittsburgh. Then the Pirates, at the end of the year, went and played the series at Shea. Ball and a strike on Jose Martinez. Two runs in the first against Musgrove. Martinez blooped a single to shallow right center field his first time up. Hashtag Bucks Booth if you want to pass along your thoughts, your memories of that day in terms of sporting world and baseball in particular. Remember when we boarded the buses, because after the Mets series at PNC Park, which was scheduled for September 11th, 12th, and 13th, the Pirates were scheduled to go play the Cubs at Wrigley. So the team boarded buses because there were no flights.
We were,
I think we were in Sandusky, Ohio.
Somewhere out on the turnpike.
Yep. Pulled over, and we must have sat there for 2, maybe 3 hours waiting word.
The side of the road on the bus.
Finally, word came from Major League Baseball. Nope, these weekend games will also be postponed. So he turned around, headed back to Pittsburgh. Line drive to left. Dickerson, what a nice play. A line drive by Martinez. 2 outs. Well done by Corey Dickerson.
One of the pleasant surprises of the year, Corey Dickerson on defense. And not that he's a Gold Glove outfielder or anything like that, but we had not heard very encouraging reports about his defense when we acquired him, and that definitely ended up not being true at all. He is much more than just adequate in the outfield. He works at it. The only thing you can say is he doesn't really have a very strong throwing arm. Other than that, I mean, what are you going to pick at?
The thing about him, though, he knows it. He knows his deficiencies. And he makes up for it in other ways as Cervelli makes the catch over by the backstop. Nice catch by Dickerson. Well done by Cervelli. Pirates trail by 2 after 3. Local artists and tracks on Friday Night Rocks during every Friday Pirates game. Spinning Jenny will be our featured performer this Friday night. Bucks will take on the Brewers in Milwaukee on Friday Night Rocks, presented by Iron City Beer. And a big thank you to one of the best barbecues we've ever had. Bucky, Ross, Nancy, all the folks.
It was absolutely amazing. The food that they provided us just before the game was incredible. Just those pork steaks that Bucky made. It took him 5 hours to cook those. 5 hours. Ross peeled 10 pounds of potatoes by hand to make the mashed potatoes. Those guys, we are so spoiled when we come here.
The pecan apple pizza that Nancy made. So thanks, they really are. It is it's our home away from home here at Busch Stadium.
Midwestern hospitality right there.
We love it. One of the reasons we love coming to the Lou. And thanks to the great people, the Cardinals organization, for allowing us to use that area outside the press box.
Yeah, we kind of took over a little spot out there, but
thanks to them.
Appreciate it.
Being congenial about that. 1 ball, 1 strike on Josh Bell, who bounced into a fielder's choice his first time up. And line toward left, slicing away from Ozuna, and he can't get to it. And Josh Bell's going to have himself another double.
And another ball that he drives hard. Now, look at a line drive out there. If he gets underneath it just a little bit, that ball's got a chance maybe to crawl over the fence. He is hitting the ball with a lot of authority here in the last week.
Another hit for Josh Bell.
28 doubles now.
Cervelli had the base hit in the first. Yeah, 28 doubles, that's not an insignificant number.
You would think
he's approaching the 30 double mark.
With 30 something this year before we get to the end of the season. Still over a couple weeks left. After we go to Milwaukee, there's another homestand, then another road trip.
Cervelli going to try to get him home.
Or get him over. If you make an out, make it a productive out. Get him a third. Nobody out right now. Yeah, he's trying to hit it that way. Of course, Michaelis is doing everything he can to prevent the ball going that direction. Everything he's throwing is on the inside part of the plate or off the plate. Doesn't want the ball going that way. Quality mustache, isn't it?
Yes.
Tried to get the strikeout there. You can see where all those other pitches were located at. He didn't want to hit the ball to the right side.
Still 1-2. Cervelli, 51 RBIs, career high for him this year.
Oh, red tint there too. Got him
Up
over.
the middle, yeah.
Productive out. Now with a 2-run lead, they'll play back. That really makes a nice RBI opportunity for Dickerson now. Fly ball, ground ball to the middle infield, and obviously a base hit. A lot of ways to knock in this run. Adams playing way back at first also. Cervelli, a lot of congratulations. Moving the runner.
See what Dickerson has done in these situations. Runner at third, less than 2 outs. StatCast AI powered by AWS.
Got to get it over the red line.
Sacrifice fly predictor.
Light green, maybe. If you hit it all the way over the green line, though, no chance of throwing anybody out. It's all in the shade.
So again, from the Pirates' perspective, what Dickerson's trying to do, at the very least, get it past the red line.
You can hit a ground ball to long, it's fine with me.
That's the ground ball predictor. We'll get to that here in a moment. Fly ball, and that'll be a base hit. Even better. Corey Dickerson makes it 2-1.
Slider that he was trying to run on his hands, it didn't move. Cement mixer right down the middle. Corey able to lift it to the outfield.
The Josh Bell double gets it started, and the Pirates make it a 2-1 ball game. Moran also struck out against Michaelis in his first at bat. Michaelis had a run going there. 5 consecutive punch outs. Red beard against the red stash. The Red Birds leading 2-1.
He throws that curveball, Greg, just enough to keep guys off balance with the speed. They're getting used to the fastball at 95. That slider comes in there 88 and up. And then every now and then he just kind of flops in that curveball in the high 70s, and everybody's out in front of it. I mean, it's not like he located that pitch. That was center square.
And a base hit for Moran. Dickerson had to hold, and now he'll motor toward third. Bader gets to it quickly, but his throw is off the mark. And it's first and third.
As he's throwing that ball, he's kind of falling toward the right field foul line, and I think that just drug his throw with him. It was nice and strong. On the mark, if it's on the bag, it's going to be a close play. But because his momentum is going toward the right field line as he's making this throw, see how he's kind of falling off to the side, almost like a pitcher that's, you know, a right-hand pitcher. You see how guys open up too soon and fall off, drag everything outside. That's exactly what Bader did. Throw comes in strong, too far to the right. Or the left, depending on if you're catching it or throwing it.
Chance for Kevin Kramer.
Missed to the glove side. How's that?
That's well put. Nobody already has his first Major League RBI. We'll look for another. But it's a pop-up. And I don't think the Pirates will test Bader here. No chance. Try and score on that one. Bader, a strong defender, leads the major leagues in 5-star catches this year.
Yeah, you know, I think whoever leads at the end of the year should win like the Gary Coleman Award.
Gary Coleman?
No, not Gary Coleman. San Diego. Jerry Coleman.
Jerry Coleman, yeah.
Jerry Coleman.
Yep. Line to right, and the catch made. Newman lines
We'll talk
out to
about
right.
that again later.
About Gary Coleman?
Jerry. I should have known with Kramer in the game.
It's time for the Toyota all-wheel drive RAV4th inning. Toyota, what drives you?
2-1 ball game as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Corey Dickerson gets the RBI. Like a 2-1 game, and then he motored from first to third. Pirates couldn't cash in with less than 2 outs. MLB at bat, your #1 Pirates app. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Pirates home screen icons and features such as the MLB.TV game of the day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at bat today. Marcell Ozuna had the 2-run double in the first inning off Joe Musgrove. Now the lowdown news and notes from around Major League Baseball. The A's lefty Sean Manaea going to be out through 2019. It's a big blow to them. The Indians have activated Josh Donaldson, batting 5th, playing 3rd off the DL. Chris Sale activated and pitched against the Jays. And Marcus Stroman unlikely to return this season, the Blue Jays right-hander.
Must be a heck of a blister.
Sale pitched the 1-inning start today, the opener for the Boston Red Sox against the Blue Jays in his return from the DL. Struck out 2 of the 5 batters he faced. He was scheduled to throw 2 innings as Osuna goes down on strikes. But Sale threw 26 pitches in the first, gave up no runs, struck out a couple, and they decided to take him out of the game after 1 inning. Paul DeYoung bounced out his first time up. Josh Donaldson, by the way, is 0 for 4 in the game against the Rays, with the Indians leading 2-0. Tyler Glass now went 7 innings for Tampa Bay, gave up a couple of runs on 6 hits. Ball and a strike on Paul DeYoung. 1 away in the 4th. 3 strikeouts for Musgrove. Toward the corner, Frazier. Paul DeYoung flies out to Adam Frazier.
You know, earlier, Greg, you were talking about you know, Polanco, and you know, if they have to have some kind of surgery, how long will he miss? You know, it is going to be interesting to see where Frazier gets the most playing time, and that could be a little window into what's going on with Polanco.
Who knows what happens the rest of the way. We'll just have to watch and see what that lineup is going to be like the rest of the way. Last night it was a return of Josh Harrison and Jordy Mercer. Appear to be unlikely to return to the Pirates next year.
They could return, but they would probably be off of free agent contracts, you would think. They'll go out and test the market, as they should. See what's out there.
Clint Hurdle told the MLB Network last week that he told Josh Harrison that the Pirates are probably not going to pick up that option. May not work for the Pirates at this time. And he told Jordy Mercer, probably not going to be able to get what you're looking for here.
And that certainly doesn't mean any doors will be shut.
Well, then, yeah, last night on the pregame show, and talking to Clint Hurdle on his radio pregame, he said that Well, Clint Barmas was awfully important to have a veteran middle infielder to help Mercer along, and he said, who knows? Mercer will be a free agent, but that doesn't mean that the door is completely shut with him. It'd be nice to have a veteran to tutor a guy like Newman and Kramer, and down on strikes. So Musgrove on a bit of a roll now. 1, 2, 3 go the Redbirds for the third consecutive inning.
Getting their first start together as big leaguers. I'm Robbie Mikowski. It's Twitter Tuesday here on AT Sportsnet. One of the questions Kramer was asked, he was our guest tonight, he was fantastic, was who was your favorite baseball player growing up and why?
Barry Bonds. Got to watch him every night. I used to keep score of the games every night, sit on my parents' bed and keep score. And you know, those teams back then, with Rich Aurelia, Jeff Kent, yeah, as a kid growing up watching that team and watching Barry every night play, and the way that he was able to demolish pitchers, but at the same time, you know, no one knows that he won a bunch of Gold Gloves too. So Barry Bonds is for sure my childhood my hero.
And what's pretty funny about that, Greg and Bob, is I asked him after he answered that question, I said, oh, too bad you weren't. And he said, I know, August 11th. And that's referring to the date the Pirates played at San Francisco when Barry Bonds had his jersey number retired by the Giants with the Pirates in attendance looking from the other dugout. So how about that? Barry Bonds, favorite player. Kevin Kramer growing up.
Great to hear a big league player like Kevin Kramer, Robbie, talk about being such a fan that he was keeping score as a youngster at home as often as he could. And he mentioned last week, as we chatted with him before the ball game, that he was devastated when the Angels and Giants met in that 2002 World Series, because the Giants were 8 outs away from winning the World Series. Game 6 in Anaheim, the Angels came back, scored 3 in the bottom of the 7th, 3 in the 8th, and beat the Giants, forcing a Game 7, and they won Game 7 4-1. Frazier in the hole 0-1. Joe Musgrove bounced out his first time. First out of the inning. There's Kevin Kramer. There's Brian Esposito, who managed him at the AAA Indy this year. And played by Wong to retire Frazier.
Another thing about that area is that I don't think people realize, unless they've lived there, spent time there, how passionate Giant baseball fans are. I mean, they're as passionate as any baseball fans in the country you can put them up against. Too. I don't care, Cub fans, Yankee fans, wherever. You grow up in that area. I have some friends that live there, and heck, one of them's a transplanted Dodger guy, and they They wear their gear. I mean, it's such a big deal. The San Francisco Giants up there in Northern California, Central California. So not surprising that some youngster growing up there would really be into those Giant teams that were so good.
It's just cool to hear a guy like Kramer tell Robbie that, because I mean, your players will say, yeah, I was a fan of this guy, that guy, but they won't go in depth and talk about being such a hardcore fan that they were actually keeping score.
You know who would love to hear that? I'm sure he did. He's probably watching the game right now. Is
Mr. Blass?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. See the contingent of the manager there, Brian Esposito, Stan Kiles wearing the glasses, Ryan Long, the hitting coach at AAA Indy. Marte has walked and bounced out. So Musgrove started this inning bouncing out to third. Typical Musgrove. He doesn't go back and sit down on the bench. He paces. Very much into the game.
Surprised he doesn't have a big coat on. He likes to stay warm.
Very pleasant. 76 degrees at game time. Two balls, two strikes, two outs. Pirates down a run. And drilled toward left center, but Bader going to be right there. Pirates retired in order. Still down a run halfway through it. To the bottom of the fifth inning. Pirates and the Cardinals will finish up this season series tomorrow. Bucks won the first 4 games of the season series, but now they've lost 10 of their last 13 to the Cardinals, including last night come from behind win by St. Louis. Matt Adams home run in the 8th. Harrison Bader. Musgrove has set down 11 straight. Pirates were rained out Sunday, so these pitchers being pushed back, getting another extra day's rest. Trevor Williams. That was a tough assignment for Williams, rather than facing, no disrespect to the Marlins, of course, but obviously a struggling team all the way around. Instead of getting that assignment on Sunday, Trevor Williams had to face the Cardinals. And Trevor retired the side in order through the first 3, but then gave up 4 in the 4th. Pitched a scoreless 5th. And Musgrove starts this 5th with a strikeout of Bader. It's Fan Appreciation Week. It's presented by PNC Bank, starting on Monday against the Royals. 3 with Kansas City in interleague play, and then 3 following that, starting on Friday night against the Milwaukee Brewers next week. Pirates offering complimentary tickets to several special groups, including teachers, youth baseball players, military members, first responders, nurses. For more information or to pay it forward to someone you know in one of those categories, go to pirates.com/fan appreciation. Fan Appreciation Week sponsored by PNC Bank. A chance for you to pay it forward as this ball is lined to left. 2 outs. Francisco Pena lines out to left field. Next Monday night going to be Teacher Educator Appreciation Night at PNC Park. Next Monday and a week from tonight, youth baseball and softball players and coaches night. And then a week from tomorrow, active military and veterans appreciation night. And as we mentioned, a chance to pay it forward. Nurses and medical caregivers appreciation night. Following weekend against the Brewers, Jose Oquendo makes the play.
So on Wednesday, we got to be extra nice to Dorn. Teachers night.
That will be Monday.
Oh, that's Monday. Oh yeah, it is Monday, isn't it?
Part of Fan Appreciation Week. We always appreciate Dorn Check.
Should just be a Dorn Check Appreciation Day.
Yeah, every day is.
He's our math teacher.
Our director in the radio booth. And Joe Musgrove
rolling.
14 in a row set down by Big Joe.
Is presented by the authority of the Pittsburgh Pirates and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Nissan Road ahead. This series concludes tomorrow afternoon. It'll be Jameson Taillon for the Pirates against Daniel Ponce de Leon, making his 10th start this year. Taillon looks for his 13th win. Coverage starts at 12:30 here in St. Louis, Busch Stadium. Pirates Cardinals. Bucks looking to come back like the Cardinals came back last night. Pirates had a 4-run lead going into the bottom of the 4th. Cardinals tied it. The Pirates took a 6-4 lead going into the bottom of the 8th inning. The Cardinals erased that with a 4 spot, won the game 8-7. Josh Bell mentioned earlier that he nearly tied the game in the 9th inning with a double off the wall and left.
We got a nice pitcher's duel going, but Michaelis, he's thrown 83 pitches now. So, if he has any length to this inning, this may be the last time we have to deal with him.
Musgrove very efficient at 61 pitches so far. Michaelis has gone over the 100 pitch mark this season a couple of times, 3 times to be exact. Twice he's reached the century mark. Pirates saw him the last time the Bucks were here, last road trip.
You would think he'd be at least in the mid-90s by the time this inning is over, and hopefully even further along than that, maybe up at 100.
Well, with Josh Bell at the plate, he's been swinging the hottest bat. Bell led off the 4th inning with a double and scored the Pirates run. And he's got the good hitters count going. There's a cool looking angle there. 3-1 count. And he ropes this one, caught however, and then dropped, and the throw to first, and an out call.
No.
Bunch of stuff happening here.
No. That was not an out. What do you think, Greg?
I'm with you from this angle.
Yeah.
I thought he was safe.
So
from
did I.
what we saw, but we'll see. Yeah, they're going to challenge it.
Yeah.
So my first reaction was it was safe. What's the call going to be, Bob, from the official score? He is going to be safe. This won't take long. But if you're the official score, what do you rule?
Base
now,
hit.
come on, try to be
I'm going to say
objective.
base hit. Base hit. I'm going to call base hit.
You're trying to be objective now. You're not giving the home team discount here.
No, I'm calling a base hit.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that was not an easy play.
I agree. I'd also call it a base hit. He'll be safe momentarily.
I mean, if it's going to take an above average defensive play to retire the hitter, and it's not made, then it's got to be a hit. And if that would have been held on to and he turns that into an out, I think that's an above average defensive play.
Josh Bell pretty much knows he's safe. Paul DeYoung probably knows he's safe as well, and we'll see what New York has decided.
Safe. Come on, give it to us.
Safe. All is overturned, and now we'll wait for the official scores ruling. Another look at a close play. Ball bounced off the mound, and they do give Josh Bell his 2nd hit of the night.
Well, I'm hot right now, aren't I?
Yes, you are. You're like Bell.
Not that hot.
Bell has now gone 7 for 13 in the last 4 games. Cervelli 1 for 2. Paul DeYoung was able to retire Cervelli last night for the final out. Michaelis, start number 29 with his 30-year-old from Jupiter, Florida.
We've been putting on a lot of hit and runs lately.
Good time to do it here.
A strike thrower guy, it's always around the plate. 1-1 count.
Maybe that's what they're thinking.
Seemed like Cervelli took a lot of interest in the signs he was looking at from Cora.
Does it seem to you that there's just not much hitting and running going on these days in baseball? Bounced weakly to third, and Carpenter just able to get it over there in time. He really struggles with that arm.
Yeah, he does. That's why they like to get him over at first base. So he doesn't have to make throws, but it's a perfect example of why. Everything he's got, and the ball barely gets there. Yeah, nobody's really worried about double plays, Greg. It's all about home runs, and then there's a lot of strikeouts. Pitchers are wild. They throw the ball all over the place. You can't. It's hard to hit and run off of them because you don't know where they're going to throw the ball.
So you do think there have been fewer, right?
I would guess that there would be. I don't think we put on a lot of hit and runs. That's why I said lately it seems like we have.
No doubt.
I'm going to say over the last 2-3 weeks.
Yep.
Seems like we've put on a handful of. Not that they've all been executed.
No,
a lot
way
of times
more than they had
the
all
ball
year.
gets fouled off and that sort of thing. But they have been. In fact, last night I think we put on a hit and run with Moran was on base, and I can't remember who was hitting. Ball got fouled off.
It was Mercer, wasn't it?
Yeah. Corey.
Pop toward the seats. Osuna going to go over. That's going out of play. Pirates road trip will continue after Thursday's off day into Milwaukee. Three with the Brewers. Brewers just a game back of the Cubs in the Central. And the Brewers own the top wild card spot in the National League. They have a 2.5 game lead on these Cardinals, so if the season were to end today, the Brewers would host the Cardinals at Miller Park in the 1-game wild card playoff. Corey Dickerson's former club, the Colorado Rockies, tied at 2 after 4 innings hosting the Diamondbacks. Rockies trying to win the National League West. Game and a half up on the Dodgers. And the D-backs have fallen 3.5 back in that division. No 1-2 as Michaelis has now gotten into the 90s. This will be pitch number 94. Oh,
two balls he's barely got a piece of to stay alive. Both of them are balls well out of the strike zone.
And that is a double play ball. And the Pirates still down a run heading to the bottom of the 6th.
glasses at the top of the arch. Well, Twitter Tuesday, and it was Kevin Kramer who was our guest. He was asked, do you and Kevin Newman ever get sick of the Seinfeld references? Had you ever really watched the show before you became teammates?
I watch the show every now and then. You know, it wasn't one of those things where I was turning on the TV to find it, but I think that we've rolled with it pretty well over the past couple of years. It's one of those things where we don't understand it all that much, but you know, it's all in good fun with the fans, and if they can relate to us that way, it's a win for everyone.
And there was a pretty funny picture put out there on Twitter with a baseball diamond, and they talked about the starting middle infielders, and they put pictures of Newman, Kramer from the characters, and Seinfeld there as well. And give these guys a lot of credit, Greg and Bob. They've been asked about this at every level because they played together at some point at every level in the minor league since the 2015 season when they were a part of the same draft class. And here they are being very, very gracious here as big leaguers when we approached them about it. I'm sure they've heard it many, many times, but they couldn't be nicer about it.
It is so true. They've almost embraced it. In fact, we asked Kevin Kramer the other day whether he or Newman, as this ball somehow finds its way between those two. And Matt Carpenter, despite that shift, hits it hard enough into right center. That breaks the string of 14 in a row, having been retired by Joe Musgrove.
Ball hit hard. If it's not at somebody, it's a hit, no matter what kind of shift you put on.
Jose Martinez 1 for 2. He singled in the first and scored on the Marcell Osuna double. Last time up, he lined out to Corey Dickerson in left field. Joe's bunt. Kevin Kramer shaded toward second, and Newman back to the shortstop position, hoping to get a ground ball. Martinez will certainly hit into his fair share of double plays. Wondering about whether Kevin Kramer or Kevin Newman share any of the characteristics of the Seinfeld Kramer and Newman characters. Kevin Kramer said, well, I'm pretty much low key, so I'm really not like the Kramer. And Kevin Newman, he's probably got more of a guy that likes to play maybe practical jokes. Funnier guy. Well, I guess that probably doesn't fit the mold of Newman. So
no.
No, they really don't. Michael Richards was the Kramer character. Wayne Knight was the Newman character. 2 balls and a strike on Martinez. Almost got a piece of him. And a very important 3-1 pitch coming here. Matt Adams on deck. Doesn't get a call. And 2 on with no one out.
That was a dangerous pitch to throw in that spot. This is a Martinez wheels house. He loves everything in.
Surprised he didn't offer that pitch. Like the first inning, 2 on, no one out. Matt Adams lined a ball to the mound that Musgrove knocked down in that first inning, and the runners advanced. Adams then fouled out in the third. 1 ball, 1 strike on Adams.
Musgrove still should be pretty strong. He's just sitting at 70 pitches. He used to come up with some good pitches here. Love to roll a ground ball.
And it is, but it's into left field.
Oh, they beat the shift.
And they are loaded now.
Everybody was on the right side. They hit it through the left.
Musgrove's last start against the Reds.
If you're pitching, what do you do in these scenarios as far as pitch location? Very interesting question. You have nobody over there, but obviously they're trying to pitch him down and away. He puts it there, and Adams, just as obviously, just goes with it and hits the ground ball through the open side.
So his last start against the Reds, he pitched so well, he gave a lot of credit to Cervelli, did Joe Musgrove. Said he learned a lot working with him. 6 1/3 innings against Cincy. That was a week ago. Carpenter, Martinez, Adams aboard. Cardinals threatening to bust it open in the 6th.
Didn't get a call there.
Not gotten many borderline, and now Cervelli is asking the home plate umpire Jeff Nelson about that. It's about as heat as Cervelli will get with an umpire, or vice versa. Nelson is tired of hearing it. And now the Pirate dugout is being told to get back. In fact, Clint Hurdle had taken a step out of the dugout, and Nelson said, "You get back down those steps."
They gave him a thumbs up. I was wondering if he's saying, hey, we're okay, because we don't need to talk about it anymore. I think that's what the thumbs up was.
Jeff Nelson took care of things. Ball, 1 strike.
Looking for the green sleeve.
Osuna has been red hot lately. In the 7 games since September the 3rd, Osuna leads the National League in total bases, 2nd in homers, 4th in OPS. Since the All-Star break, 11 homers and slugging .539. He's got 3 teammates aboard with no one out. He had the 2-run double in the 1st.
He was hunting fastball on that one. A big fastball swing, got a slider. A little slower and ran out of bat as that ball broke to the outside.
5 career grannies. 2 of them this year. Get him to chase. Musgrove strikes out Osuna for the 2nd time. It's the 7th strikeout for Musgrove tonight.
2 sliders in a row. Oh wait, no, that's not even a slider there.
curveball?
It's changeup, I think.
Now, here is Paul DeYoung. DeYoung has bounced out and flied to right. Drove in a pair of runs last night. Paul DeYoung.
What an incredible job of pitching if he gets out of this.
Oh. He is working really hard to try and do just that. Wiggle his way out of this major jam. 1-1. See the commitment Musgrove has to each pitch. Again, working with Cervelli as the Pirates have Michael Felice and Richard Rodriguez up. One and two. Well, wouldn't you know it, a wild pitch. Here's its ugly head again.
It's one of the things I think they're going to have to really look at next year and figure out where all these wild pitches are coming from. What is the reason for them? And do something to fix it. What is that, 86 or something like that?
Well, they lead the majors.
I know it's in the mid-80s as far as wild pitches. I mean, that's a ton.
They lead the majors.
And you lose the possibility of your double play now. Infield has to come in on the grass.
Popped up, that's going to be out of play. In case you're wondering, the Mets have the fewest wild pitches uncorked with only 19. Infield in. Pirates with 86 wild pitches to lead the majors.
Nice pitch there, right on the thumbs. Why couldn't that have been a little pop-up? It was close to being one.
Two and two on DeYoung. Cardinals now leading 3-1. Carpenter scoring. Martinez and Adams move up. Reaches out and a fly ball deep enough to score another run. It's going to be a 4-1 ball game. Sac fly for DeYoung. Scores Martinez. Moves Adams to third. 2 outs.
That's a pretty nice job getting that ball that far into the outfield. That was not a bad pitch.
On this Patriot Day, USAA honors those who have served and all of our service members at home and abroad. Here's Colton Wong. Miles Michaelis now leading 4-1.
Kind of looking like he might go pitch the 7th, huh?
Looks that way.
He will definitely be well over 100 pitches. Musgrove's pitching mark there.
And he's labored here in the 6th for sure. Matt Carpenter led off with a hit, then the walk to Martinez, a hit to Adams. Adams there at third base now. It's going to drop. Wong, the 6th batter of the inning. Musgrove gets Colton Wong for his 8th strikeout, but 2 more in. The wild pitch and the sacrifice fly, and it's 4-1 St. Louis.
AT Sportsnet is brought to you by Barrel Automotive. Our service centers are now open evenings and weekends. Visit barrelservice.com for more. And by Allegheny Health Network, official medical provider of the Pittsburgh Pirates and fans like you. Let's go Bucks!
Joe Musgrove at the long inning, and a handshake from Clint Hurdle indicating he's done. A 4-1 Cardinal lead as we go to the 7th inning here in St. Louis, and Miles Michaelis will face Colin Moran. Pirates trailing by 3.
Got to get some base runners. Well, last night we got what, 3 balls over the fence?
Yeah.
3 home runs. So 15 times this year we've 3 home runs in games.
Is that right?
12 of them on the road.
How about that? Go figure, huh?
No, I just makes you think about our home ballpark and about, you know, the rest of the ballparks we go to.
I mean, is that kind of what every year is like that?
I don't know. I've never looked at the splits on our 3-run home run nights before. I doubt I'll ever do it again, but I did. No, it was in the notes, I believe.
It's one of those quirky things.
Well, I don't think it's
Can't
quirky.
figure it out.
I think it's because of our ballpark is a little fairer when it comes to home run balls. I would expect
So
to
you think
find,
over the years it's pretty the pattern?
I would like to go. Yeah, I think so. Maybe we go back and look at that. I think I'll do that tomorrow.
Please do. 2001 through 2018.
I'm going to get up in the morning and check that out.
Oh, Moran thought he had checked it, but third base umpire Manny Gonzalez said he swung. He offered, and 6 punch outs for Michaelis. Kevin Kramer is 0 for 2. Second major league start tonight at second base.
You know, when you see somebody over 100 pitches nowadays, don't you like, oh, wow.
Yeah, it's like, wow, I can't believe they're doing this.
100, look, there's 102.
Yeah.
What's happening? You know, when somebody has like a no-hitter through 5 and it goes out over the wire?
Yeah. That's
It's kind of like that.
100 pitch alert. Dakota Hudson loosens in the bullpen for the Cardinals. And Kramer strikes out for a second time tonight. 7 now for Miles Michaelis. Nine is his season high. Michaelis struck out 9 Royals back on May 21st. Kevin Newman has struck out and lined to right. And bounce to third. Carpenter on to first, and the Pirates go down in order. 4-1 Cardinals. Baseball brought to you by T-Mobile. And Miles Michaelis, he is in line to win his 15th.
He certainly has pitched well. I was a little surprised that he was able to go this far after his first couple innings. It threw, I think, like 40 pitches first 2 innings. But they let him go 7 because he was mowing them down. Threw over 100 pitches. Great job. Got a mustache like that, you can go over 100 pitches.
Michael Felice going to get some work. And a disappointment for Michael Felice this year, recalled from AAA.
I think everybody had high expectations for Felice, and we acquired him.
A week ago, he was recalled.
At one point this season, he was promoted to the 8th inning guy.
Yeah.
Setup man.
Yeah, 2.70 ERA in his first 22 games through the 3rd week of May. But his last 18 major league games has an earned run average over 9. Joe Musgrove goes 6. Gives up 4 runs on 4 hits, couple of walks, 8 strikeouts. He struck out Harrison Bader twice. Sixth inning really hurt Musgrove as Michaelis was able to get the outs he needed. Retired the side in order 4 of the 7 innings he pitched. He was able to get Corey Dickerson to bounce into an inning-ending double play into the 6th inning threat. Pirates scored their run in the 4th. And they had runners at 1st and 3rd with just 1 out, but he got Kramer and Newman in the 4th inning to end that threat. The Pirates stranded 2 in the 1st when Corey Dickerson struck out against Michaelis. We're wondering about those wild pitches. Not only do the Pirates lead the major leagues in wild pitches, as Bud Norris starts to loosen up. Carpenter scored on the Musgrove wild pitch.
Wow, how did that ball get called a ball? Look at that. I don't think Cervelli said a word about that one. Look at Bader. He took plenty of strikes there. He's like walking away, shaking his head. Not maybe shaking his head like, why didn't I swing? I don't know. He acts like he thought that was a ball.
He strikes out for a 3rd straight time. Here's Francisco Pena. Reaches out, kind of one-hands it into left. Dickerson motors over there toward the line, and just in case Francisco Pena was thinking about maybe even rounding the first base bag. Trots to first. Greg Garcia will pinch it for Michaelis. He had a pinch hit single last night off Trevor Williams in the 5th inning.
He is the guy to come off the bench for the Cardinals.
And Hurdle's going to go to the bullpen. And he's going to call on the lefty, Stephen Brault. With Garcia and Carpenter, both left-handed hitters, 2 up. Clint Hurdle will go to the lefty. 4-1 Cardinals. 1 out. New pitcher coming on. Queen Park University tweet. We asked you could hashtag Bucks Booth if you have a thought or comment about maybe what you were doing back on September 11th, or when the Pirates resume play September 17th. Here from Steve. Unused tickets framed from the canceled game on September 12th, 2001. The second game of that series. Pirates and Mets scheduled to play starting on Tuesday the 11th. They ended up resuming at PNC Park on the 17th. Cardinals hosted the Milwaukee Brewers on that night, and now Stephen Brault faces Tyler O'Neill, who pinch hit for Greg Garcia.
Tough to get a matchup you want nowadays. I mean, September.
Yeah,
basically. It's just,
you got all kinds of
they got
players available.
So many hitters over there on the bench that they can always bring up somebody else if they want. During the regular season, especially with the 8-man bullpens, you can't do that. You have a very limited amount of players on the bench.
Couple of scoreless innings for Brault. His last outing.
He is
6 days ago.
Very good since coming back from a stint in the minor leagues. Then throwing the ball with good velocity, good movement, and some pretty good command. I mean, that's I think always been the thing that he needed to work on the most.
Those borderline pitches just have not gone the pitcher's way tonight.
Ooh, that was close to being 87.
So back to
good
the
job, Cisco. I mean, how do you keep this one in front of you? It's hard to explain, Greg. I don't understand it.
Well, Pirates have allowed 13 runs to score on wild pitches, including Matt Carpenter, the 6th inning. That's the second most in all of baseball. The Orioles lead the majors. They've allowed 16 runs to score on wild pitches. It really is a big problem. First and second. O'Neill walks. Pinch hitter for the pinch hitter. Now it's Carpenter. Cubs still leading the Brewers 2-0. They're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Jose Quintana went 6 2/3 scoreless for the Cubs. Jolie Chacin went 5 for the Brewers. Cubs have added a run in the 7th, lead 3-zip. As they look to move 2 up on Milwaukee, and the Cardinals would remain 3.5 back of the Cubs in the Central. If they hold on to this lead here, and the Cubs end up beating the Brewers. Cardinals will host the Dodgers starting Thursday night. Then they hit the road, play 3 in Atlanta. Come back home for 3 against the Giants, 3 against the Brewers, and they finish with 3 at Wrigley against the Cubs at the end of the regular season. So they're looking to try and shave a couple games off between now and then. And Mike Schild and company would have an opportunity with a big series at Wrigley at the end of the year to overtake the Cubs for the division. 3-0 count. A 4-pitch walk.
2 walks in a row. This is pre getting sent to the minor leagues. And this is not the way he has pitched since he's come back.
Clint Hurdle's going to go to the bullpen again. This time Tanner Anderson going to get some work as Pirates going to take a look at some of these pitchers, see what they can do in these situations. They've got the bases loaded and a chance to bust out. As you enjoy Miller Lite, look forward to the hold true moment later in tonight's game. Tanner Anderson, recalled from AAA.
And numbers a very short time up here in a couple of games, not good. And it comes into a mess now.
Opponents are 9 for 16 against him. He had a .264 ERA at Indy this year.
And these balls are, I mean, that's tough to, almost unblockable. This is the first pitch of the at bat. This is not like trying to bury an 0-2 curveball. This is where you're trying to throw strike one, and it's in the middle of the left-hand hitter's batter's box. No, I'm sure there's nerves.
Yeah, but I've heard that. In fact, Clint Hurdle said it. He was finally asked that a few days ago. But this has been something going on all year long, and that is just foul. But I guess everybody's kind of searching for answers. And he mentioned a young pitching staff. Some young relievers.
You know,
but
and I
a
know
lot of teams have young.
Some people want to like hang some of this stuff on the catchers, and there are occasionally something where you say, oh, that ball probably should have been blocked. But most of them are, I mean, you're throwing a Hail Mary out there with your glove trying to get something in front of it.
Tanner Anderson out of Harvard. But Norris up.
Yes, yes.
Out on the chase. Strikes out Martinez.
Well, now the infield can move back. That's a big strikeout. That's a good recovery after that first pitch. Hit out wild pitch out in the middle of the batter's box.
They will walk Adams intentionally. And will face Marcell Ozuna. Jairo Munoz pinch running for Carpenter. And caught by Josh Bell. Score a run on the wild pitch. And after 7, it's 5-1 St. Louis. Allegheny Health Network Super Mo look at some of the action here tonight in St. Louis. Stephen Brault faces a couple batters, walks both. No runs, as it turns out, against his line. Michael Felice gives up 1. Faced 2 batters. Ray Searage trying to encourage Brault. Jairo Munoz stays in the game to play third.
Yeah, I think, Greg, that's the main job of a pitching coach at the major league level, is to do things like right there. It's to keep guys pumped up, keep their confidence level. It's all about their minds.
but Norris takes over. And Jordan Luplow pinch hitting for Tanner Anderson. Luplow started in left field on Sunday. Good chance he'll see some playing time in right field with Polanco done for the year. Norris has closed much of this season, but recently Mike Schild said he's not going to name a full-time closer. He used Carlos Martinez the last 3 opportunities, and Martinez saved his 3rd game last night. Norris pitching here in the 8th. Luplow, then Frazier and Marte. There's Carlos Martinez. Three and 2. Norris has allowed runs in 3 straight relief outings for the first time this season. And Luplow toward right center. Bader on the move. We go back to Paul Alexander in the studios and a game break. Thank you, Paul. Here it is 5-1 Cardinals. So they look to keep pace with the Cubs and gain a game on the Brewers in terms of the wild card. Frazier 0 for 3. Michaelis allowed 5 hits, 1 run. Brewers are in town for the last regular season home series, September 21st through the 23rd. Friday the 21st, and Belly Fireworks. Plus youngsters 14 and under will receive the Starling Marte jerseys. Saturday is Oktoberfest Stein night, and Sunday play ball knit caps to the youngsters 14 and under. For tickets, go to pirates.com. It's also Fan Appreciation Day, that final Sunday. And the strikeout. Frazier is the second out. We go back to the studios. Once again, Paul with a game break. It's just a matter of how many wins, Paul, by the end of this year. 99 and 46 Boston Red Sox. As Marte fouls this out of play.
Throwing Norris.
Give me the ball.
That's weird. He walked over and
Trainer coming out. Here comes Mike
well,
Maddox,
bent,
Mike Schill.
bent over, and I mean, if you're going to do that, people are going to come out. Shake your hand and
Trying to convince now the staff that he's okay.
hey, you can't start shaking your head and then go bend over at the waist with your hands on your knees and not expect them to come out and check on your health.
Just upset with the pitch.
I guess. It was an 0-1 pitch. Or no, it was an 0. It was fouled off. It'd be hard for me to believe that it was being upset with a pitch in that scenario. Like, hey, you got a strike.
And bounce to Wong. And Norris eventually has a 1-2-3 top of the 8th. Nick Birdie going to make his major league debut.
Make his major league debut here, down 5-1 in St. Louis in the bottom half of the 8th inning. So he made some noise in college in 2014. He was selected 46th overall by the Minnesota Twins. That was the highest draft pick ever out of the University of Louisville. Well, 2 years later, 3 Cardinals were taken even higher, including his brother Zach, who also had to overcome Tommy John surgery. Nick had to do that as well. The Chicago White Sox drafted his brother. And look at last year, Brendan McKay was the 4th overall pick in the entire Major League Baseball draft by the Tampa Bay Rays. So here is Nick Birdie. Greg and Bob getting set to make his Major League debut in St. Louis, a moment he certainly will never forget, along with his brother Zach and the rest of the family.
Yeah, this is quite a moment for Nick Birdie after all he's been through, not just with the Tommy John, but of course being traded after being drafted by the Twins as Jordan Luplow takes over in center. Phillies selected him in the Rule 5 draft this past December 14th. That same day, they worked out a trade with the Pirates. Bertie had undergone the Tommy John surgery in late May of last year, so he started the year on the DL, and they'll save the ball as he throws the first pitch for a strike. And he'll record the out as Luplow, playing center field, will make the catch. So quite a moment for Nick Bertie.
Looks composed out there. Strike one, strike two, routine out. Breaking ball with that second pitch, the slider.
Now he faces Colton Wong. Now Bertie, because of the injury, has to be kept on the Pirates' 25-man roster for at least 90 days. Or be offered back to the Twins for half the $100,000 draft fee. So the Pirates would have to carry him for part of 2019, the beginning of the year, on the 40-man.
98.
Wow.
On the hands.
Clay Holmes loosens in the Pirates bullpen. And now Wong with a base hit. Well, Bertie gets an out and a hit, and tomorrow Pirates Cardinals conclude this series. Jamison Tyone against Daniel Ponce de Leon. 12:30 Pirates pregame presented by WB Mason. Harrison Bader. So a good chance we'll see Nick Bertie early next season on the big league roster. Two balls, no strikes. Nick Bertie from Hinsdale, Illinois. 25 years old, 6'5", 220. Bader trying to avoid striking out for a fourth straight time tonight. Twice against Musgrove and looking against Michael Felice. Musgrove is on the hook. He dropped to 6 and 9 unless the Pirates have a big rally in the ninth.
I like Bertie's stuff. I like the fact that he's throwing strikes. Just a little bit off the edge.
Started his rehab at Bradenton, spent a little bit of time in Altoona, then on to Indianapolis. His minor league career, 115 innings, 156 strikeouts. And ball 4 as Wong took off.
Missed with a 3-2 slider.
Francisco Pena, 1 out of 3. Play out of it. He knocks it into shallow left to allow a run to score. That error extremely costly. Still nobody out, and the 6th run of the game for the Cardinals.
You know, Birdie made a nice pitch there. Trying to throw a fastball in. That's where he was set up, and he hit the glove. You know, at this point, kind of looking at the pitch execution with Birdie, not necessarily are they catching the ground balls or not. And I like what I see. Don't like that one.
Tyler O'Neill pinch hit and walked against Brault.
You know what I don't like is it seems like he's trying to trick people. 3-2 breaking ball, 2 breaking balls right here. He's got a 98-mile-an-hour fastball.
What I don't get in
he's
those
pitching
situations,
against the bottom of the lineup.
That's got to be Cervelli.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, that's not even Birdie's fault.
I agree with that.
Birdie has to be totally reliant on Cervelli here. That 3-0 pitch well out of here. Showing his power. That's his 8th.
Well, he got himself in a fall behind 3-0 count. I mean, if you're going to challenge somebody with a fastball, do it with the first pitch. You know, get ahead 0-1. Then maybe you'll get a chase on some of those breaking balls off the plate. But on 3-0, you go center square. Not good. Even with a 96.
Well, not all his doing. He did walk a man. He gave up the base hit to Wong, but there was a ball that was a routine double play ball to Colin Moran.
Oh, yeah.
And because of that, the inning continued. 9-1 Cardinals. first out. And on the Major League mound for the first time after the Tommy John surgery. And as Bob said, you can certainly see why other teams are so high on him. That stuff that he has.
Hey, he's got good stuff. You know, for the most part, was throwing strikes. Pitch selection, I didn't really care for. We should have definitely turned to double play, and he should not have given up anything. But that's what happened. It ended up being a rough first outing for him, stat-wise.
Colin Moran's error was large. Now Clay Holmes getting some work in. Jairo Munoz, his first at bat, pinch ran for Carpenter. And Moran's having himself a rough night.
Pirates were right there in this game for about 75% of it.
Second error of the inning on Colin Moran. Gives Moran 11 errors on the year. Adolis Garcia bats for the pitcher, Norris. Wow. It's unbelievable. Another wild pitch.
This is a fastball, Greg. We're not talking about a breaking ball here. It's a fastball that hit the front of the plate.
Line down the line and left and fair.
Ground rolled over.
Would have been a double anyway. Another run in, 10.
Or hit the chalk line. Garcia hitting that breaking ball very hard right on the chalk line, and then the reason it was double is
now what are they talking about?
Got up into the stands.
Home plate umpire Jeff Nelson went down to Manny Gonzalez to check with him. So Adolis Garcia picks up his first career RBI. That double. Ten runs on only 8 hits. Very ugly night in St. Louis. Matt Adams was 1 for 3 against Musgrove. Two-error night for Colin Moran. Another hit. He'll go station to station.
That's twice tonight where Adams has just flicked a single through the open left side. He's laughing about it. I guarantee that's what they're talking about. He definitely meant to do it last time, and probably doing it here. Yeah, he's only hitting about $160 in the Cardinal uniform this year, so maybe just trying to take some singles the other way, try to get that batting average up there a little bit. I'm sure he doesn't like looking at that 160 something batting average. And Cardinal red.
Incredibly, the official scorer here in St. Louis changed the Munoz ground ball that you saw moments ago to a hit. Colin Moran will tell you that's a routine backhand ground ball, but an error taken away from him and a hit given as Osuna looks over at Clay Holmes. Just bend down, backhanded. Nope. Whiffed it. Munoz will certainly take the hit. Unfortunately for Holmes, it was against his ERA.
Most time they'll give the hit to the home team.
If it's debatable. I agree. 3-0 the count now on Marcell Osuna. Three and one on Osuna with one out. Osuna's the 9th man to bat in the inning. His 1 out, 2-run double in the first. Give the Cardinals the 2-0 lead. Luke Weaver going to get some work in. Just gets a piece of it. To center. Luplow. Sacrifice fly for Osuna. 11-1. Garcia scoring from third. Paul DeYoung now started the inning against Nick Birdie and flied out. Well, the Cubs end up with a shutout over the Brewers 3-0, so the Cardinals are going to stay 3.5 back of the Cubs in the Central. Brewers fall 2 back.
Not the Dodgers end up. They lost, right?
Dodgers lost to the Reds again.
I think that when this inning started, I think Didn't they only have 5 hits?
Yeah.
For the whole game until this inning? Now they have, what, 11? And more hits in this inning than they had the rest of the game combined.
Ray Searage going out to talk to Clay Holmes. Clay Holmes, another one of those September recalls, his 7th different stint with the Pirates. This is his 5th relief appearance. Picked up his first career win when he pitched 6 scoreless innings in his start against the Milwaukee Brewers. One of the games of that doubleheader on the 14th of July at PNC Park. Was 8-3 with a 3.29 ERA at AAA Indianapolis. But he has given up 4 hits and a sacrifice fly. 5 batters he's faced. Now it's Colton Wong.
Thank you. So now that's the kind of strike zone you should have when it's 11-1. I know that umpires get graded, by that grid, but I think there should be leeway for them.
Hope there's leeway for Nelson tonight. Those 2 pitches.
You should not hold that against him.
Right. We're lobbying for you, Jeff. Final out, finally. 11-1 Cardinals.
On AT&T Sportsnet is brought to you by the Chevy Silverado and your Western PA Chevy dealers. And by Levin's, the official furniture and mattress supplier to the Pittsburgh Pirates. For the best quality, service, and value, shop Levin's. Let's go Bucks!
Had a rough night for the Bucks. 11-1 Cardinals. Josh Bell has 2 of the Pirates' 5 hits. And Garcia going to stay in the game out in left. The new pitcher is Luke Weaver.
Luke's numbers on the air. You're going to use a lot of ink in September, don't you?
I do. And have some pens as
September
backups.
and March.
Yep. Yeah. Bell looks for his third hit. Ryan Lavarnway comes out on deck. Getting as many guys as he can. Some looks on the mound, and Lavarnway, a veteran, will pinch hit. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Bell. There's Ryan Lavarnway. Weaver has started 25 games this year. Bounce to third. Shiro Munoz will throw out Bell, hustling down that line. He's the first out of the 9th. Lavarnway will pinch hit for Cervelli, a veteran catcher, 31 years old. Pirates signed him to a minor league free agent deal over the winter. Former 6th round pick of the Red Sox out of Yale back in 2008. Up and down with the Bo Sox for about 4 seasons. A little bit of time with the Orioles and Braves back in 2015. And played in 6 games with the Oakland A's last year. Lavarnway hit .288 at Indianapolis. He and Jacob Stallings caught the majority of games at Indy.
You'd be surprised to see those guys catch a few games here last couple weeks.
And a liner to right. And a base hit, and Tyler O'Neill tries to dive for it, and Lavarnway will take a double.
He hit the heck out of it. That ball was hit hard. He deserved that double. Hit first base and turn left. Pretty good job of hitting right there. Ball's on the outside half of the plate. Stay inside the ball. Hit the inner half. Turn left. And blow bubbles as you run it.
Yeah. Dickerson going to pick up a ribby. He'll trade places with Lavarnway. 11-2. Dickerson's 2nd RBI tonight. And that gives him 49 RBIs on the season.
Showcase the wheels, kid. Showcase the wheels.
Dickerson. His 2nd hit, 2nd ribby. Colin Moran now at the plate.
don't see many single digits on pitchers' backs, do you?
No.
Weaver with the 7. Kind of rare.
Mike Leake, single-digit guy. Adam Ottavino, the Rockies, 0.
That doesn't count. 0.
Doesn't count.
No.
Single-digit doesn't count.
No, 0 doesn't count.
Okay.
So in his case, it's more of an O.
What about double 0?
More of an O. Double 0 would count.
Would count as what?
It's 2 letters. OO. Double O. Tell you, like if your catcher right now had double O on it, you'd have a 007 battery.
A big-time stretch deep into the night here from Bobby.
It's 11-2, Greg.
I understand that.
What number would you take, Greg? If you could have any number. Ever thought about it?
Oh, yeah.
What number would you take?
Well, 8. 21 if I
so
could.
you'd be a single digit guy.
Like 21, like 25, like 13. What was your favorite number that you wore? Better hurry.
Well,
2 outs.
I never gave it much thought before I got to the big leagues. But my first number was 41.
Did you like that one?
And it's everybody thought that was a cool number. All my, my
Philly teammates,
buddies that went to the big league camp with
Dick
me
Ruffin.
and everything. They thought, oh, 41, that's awesome. They got 41, and so I got to where I really liked that number. And even though I wore 17 on my back longer than any other number, I still, when I see a 41 now, and that's a nice number.
Okay.
41, I like that.
I like that story.
Yeah. I like 41.
That was when you're in the minors with the Phillies.
No, in 1980.
Oh.
Yeah. When the first big league spring training, I had 41 on my back. I thought I explained that to you.
No, but did you, when you got to the big leagues, you were wearing 41?
No, they gave it to me at my first big league spring
what
training.
number did you wear when you got to the major leagues?
Oh,
with the Phillies?
41. When you make the 40-man roster, they give you a number, and that's your number.
I thought Dick Ruffin was there. Was he there? No.
He was there.
What number was he? 44, maybe?
Could be. Yeah,
maybe it was 41.
No, he wasn't 41.
Obviously not.
Remember,
Here's 44 now at the plate.
Longboard,
yeah.
I think he was 41 before I got there. Jim Longboard. There we go.
Line to right and a base hit for Kramer. He picks up another major league hit and an RBI.
And there's that life off his bat we were talking about earlier. I mean, he smoked that ball. And this is why you want these guys in these games. Gain experience. It doesn't matter what the score is, the situation right now. Just the more reps you get, the more pitches you get to see at this level, the more you know what to expect when next year rolls around. You learn. Now after the season's over, you go home, you're thinking, hey, that's just pretty much the same game I've played my whole life. I can do that. You kind of come to the spring training with a different attitude.
left center field, and Kevin Newman's going to have himself extra bases. And Joey Cora going to wave home Kramer to give Newman his first double. And there's a ribby for Newman. It will be Newman's second career RBI.
It's good to see
It's his second double as well.
Newman drive a ball like that.
Second career double for Newman.
Two outs, off on the crack of the bat. Going to score easy. Schilt. Mike.
Little pinch hit in the 8th and flied out. Frazier hoping to get a shot.
I want to see Frazier get up there. I want to see another pitching change.
I don't think anybody's listening in the bullpen. I think Frazier's going to face Weaver.
No, don't do it.
Weaver's gotten 2 ground ball outs, but he's given up 4 hits, including 3 doubles. All's quiet.
Spoiled it, staying alive.
Hanging in there. The loop at the Lou. Facing Luke. Mike Maddox indicating the bullpen needs to crank it up a little bit. They just now got somebody up. Walked him. Frazier going to get a chance to pick up his first hit of the night. Maddox will buy some time.
Yeah, we didn't get a pitching change, but at least we got a visit.
John Brebbia is up.
Almost the same thing. don't think Weaver said much back to him. Didn't say much lip movement.
Adam Frazier. Miles Michaelis went 7, gave up 1 run on 5 hits. He was able to retire Frazier 3 times with 2 fly balls and a ground out, and Bud Norris struck out Frazier last inning. He's been a tough out. And now Luke Weaver with Jose Osuna on deck to pinch hit. Chance we will see Brebbia. He's not able to retire Frazier and end this ball game. 3-1.
Feel a pitching change, Greg.
A little sour taste for Cardinal fans.
Most of them left.
It's 9th inning. 37,187. And that is a fair ball. So Frazier going to go into second base with a double. Drives in a run. He picks up his 30th ribby. And now Jose Osuna will be announced, and we are going to have a pitching change. Luke Weaver, a rough outing. Four doubles for the Pirates in the 9th off Weaver, 5 hits.
They keep plugging away, hit after hit after hit. They've got it up to 11-5 now. It's been kind of interesting to watch what's happening here in this 9th inning. Just one more out is all the Cardinals have needed now for a while, but they just can't get it. Osuna. strikeout to hit against Brevia. Game number 38 for him. Good strikeout numbers, 50 in 43 innings.
Well, we saw Brevia pitch last night, pitched a scoreless 8. Osuna has not gotten much playing time. Comes up as a pinch hitter. His first career start at third base on Saturday, had a couple of hits. Well, you'd love to see him get regular at bats somehow, some way. I know what the Pirates have in Osuna. Exaggerated Bronx type cheer here. That strike.
They've been waiting about 20 minutes for the last out. They're getting impatient, the ones that are still around.
This should do it. DeYoung goes out Osuna, and the Cardinals defeat the Pirates 11-5.
And it's odd looking at the final score and thinking about how this game was through the first 6 innings or so with the pretty good pitchers duel, but man, it went south for the Pirates. Bullpen came in and they could not stop the bleeding.
Now, the Cardinals have won now 11 of the 18 meetings this year against the Pirates, including 11 of the last 14. Handing the Pirates their second straight loss. We'll head back to the studios with Paul and Michael.